Welcome to Baugan Inglés 4.0, the radio show with Kyle Miller. Following class by class, step by step, the material of Baugan Inglés 4.0 on Aprende Inglés TV. Class 168. Let's go! Beginner. Hello, friends, and welcome to class number 168. Yes, today we will begin with a review of yesterday's material. Yesterday, talking about the verb to drop. Caérsele a alguien, dejar caer o tirar accidentalmente. To drop, every day I drop something. Yesterday I dropped something. Yesterday, I dropped a glass. 5 minutes ago, I dropped my pen. Yes, I dropped my pen. Oh, no. I dropped my glass of water. Oh, it broke. It broke when I dropped it. So to break is romper. Something breaks. Glass, for example, cristal, glass, can break when you drop it, if you drop it. Yes. It fell because I dropped it. Caer, to fall. It fell because I dropped it. I dropped the glass and it broke. It fell because I dropped it. It broke because it fell. Okay. So we have se le cayó la taza y se rompió. She dropped the cup and it broke. A tu vecino se le cayeron sus gafas la semana pasada? Now this is a question. Did your neighbor drop his glasses last week? Yes, my neighbor dropped his glasses last week. Okay. So we have the idea of transitive and intransitive verbs. So to drop as a transitive verb, we have I dropped the glass. So with transitive verbs, we have you say in Spanish, you say transitivo. We have an object, a direct object. So I dropped, and an indirect object in this case, I dropped the glass. But then, as an intransitive verb, it dropped, or the temperature. La temperatura cayó ayer. The temperature dropped. Temperature. The temperature dropped. Yesterday, la temperatura cayó ayer. Okay? And in this case, the intransitive sense is where we can use the verb to drop. The temperature fell yesterday. The temperature dropped yesterday. Okay? Now, the next thing we saw in the last class was the future. We were looking at the future. The future with going to. So, the future with going to is used when we are talking about planned actions or stated intentions. Planned actions or stated intentions, right? So we have a fair degree of certainty here. I am going to see my parents this summer. Going to plus infinitive. I'm going to see them. I'm going to visit Canada this summer. I am going to visit them. I'm going to see them. Yes. I'm going to have chicken for dinner tonight. That's true. So here, answer my questions. So all using this form, future with going to, subject, and then the verb to be, going to, infinitive. So, are you going to be here tomorrow? Yes, I'm going to be here tomorrow. Are you going to buy a sandwich? Yes, I'm going to buy a sandwich. Are they going to leave now, and are they going to call when they get home? It sounds strange to use going to twice, but to practice the verb, we can do this. Otra vez. Are they going to leave now and are they going to call when they get home? Yes, they're going to leave now and they're going to call when they get home. Is she going to buy a new computer? Yes, she's going to buy a new computer. Are the Rolling Stones, I asked this question yesterday, are the Rolling Stones going to make a new album? I don't know. Yes. The Rolling Stones are going to make a new album. They're going to record a new album. Okay, I don't know. That was a grammatical example. I don't know. Maybe not. Is your mother going to make a cake? Yes, my mother is going to make a cake. So going to plus infinitive. I'm going to be here tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to record another radio show tomorrow. After class, I'm going to go home. After this program, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home. I'm going to turn on my computer. Encender. Turn on. I'm going to turn on my computer. I'm going to check my email. Then I'm going to prepare some content for tomorrow, for the radio. Then I'm going to prepare for classes for tomorrow morning. Then I'm going to go to the gym, go to my gym, el gimnasio. I'm going to exercise for 45 minutes. Then I'm going to go home. Then I'm going to have dinner. Then I'm going to relax for a little while. Then I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan for this evening. We will see if it comes true. I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm busy. I still have a lot of things to do today. Let's move on now and take a look at our word of the day. Word of the day. All right, it is time for the word of the day. Our word of the day today is the verb alquilar. Alquilar in Spanish. In English, we say to rent. Rent. Yes, I rent an apartment here in Madrid. I rent a flat, you could say. Alquilo, I rent. I rent a flat. The British would say a flat. Americans would, and Canadians as well, would say an apartment. I rent an apartment. I have roommates in the apartment that I rent. Compañeros de piso. Compañeros de piso, but we say roommates. Almost like compañeros de habitación, pero no viven en mi habitación. Tienen sus propias habitaciones. They have their own rooms, but we call them roommates. Or in Britain, they would say flatmates. No se dice apartment mates. No, we say roommates. I have 2 roommates now. We rent an apartment together in Madrid. Now let's move on and take a look at our new material, our new content for today. Here we're practicing again with the future. It's time to talk about the future again. The future with going to. So ask me, pregúntame, we're practicing the interrogative now. Ask me if I'm going to buy a house next year. Kyle, are you going to buy a house next year? No, I'm not going to buy a house next year. Ask me if I'm going to drive to Barcelona tomorrow. Are you going to drive to Barcelona tomorrow? No, I'm not going to drive to Barcelona tomorrow. Ask me if I'm going to go to the cinema this weekend. Are you going to go? Going to plus infinitive, going to go. Are you going to go to the cinema this weekend? Yes, I'm going to go to the cinema this weekend. I'm going to go to the cinema this weekend. Ask me if I'm going to move to Germany next year. Kyle, are you going to move to Germany next year? No, I'm not going to move to Germany next year. Ask me if I'm going to take a trip. A trip. Un viaje. But remember, trip is a noun. Travel is un verbo. Travel es el verbo. Trip, noun. I'm going to take a trip. Ask me if I'm going to take a trip this summer. Kyle, are you going to take a trip this summer? Yes, I am. I'm going to take a trip this summer. I'm going to take a trip to Canada. I'm going to travel. Okay, I'm going to travel to Canada. I'm going to take a trip to Canada. You can say either one. You can say take a trip or travel. But take a travel, no. You know, tampoco se puede decir I'm going to trip to. No. I'm going to take a trip, or I'm going to travel to Canada. Yes. I'm going to go to Canada. Going to plus infinitive. I'm going to go to Canada. Ask me if I'm going to check my email. Email. Not email, but email. 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 Ask me if I'm going to check my email this afternoon. En voz alta. Kyle, are you going to check your email this afternoon? Yes. I'm going to check my email this afternoon. Ask me if I'm going to have a sandwich in the break before the intermediate class. Kyle, are you going to have a sandwich in the break before the intermediate class? Yes, I'm going to have a sandwich in the break before the intermediate class. Ask me if I'm going to get married in Spain. Kyle, are you going to get married in Spain? I don't know. No sé. I don't know if I'm going to get married in Spain or not. I don't know. Ask me if I'm going to learn Chinese someday. Kyle, are you going to learn Chinese someday? No, I'm not going to learn Chinese someday. No, I'm busy with Spanish and French and English, yes. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, friends, it is time for the vocabulary of the day. That is our 5 words. The first word is a verb comprobar. Comprobar, which is to check. To check. To check, yes. Check your watch. Check your email. To check. Conversar sobre un tema. This is to discuss. To discuss. Yes. Yeah, so we have to discuss something and to have a discussion, to have a conversation. But the verb to discuss. When you say discutir, acaloradamente, you could say to argue. To argue about something. We discussed sports. We argued. No, yes, no, yes. We argued about the best, about which football team was the best, for example. Dividir. Dividir, this is the verb to divide. Divide. Every day I divide. Yesterday I divided. Notar. Notar. To notice. To notice. Progresar. To progress. To progress. Progresar, the verb to progress. All right, now it is time to move on and take a look at our last point today, which is the use of the word one. So one as in, not as in the number one, but one as in when we do not have a noun, un sustantivo, after an adjective, we use one. So we have an adjective. I like el azul, the blue one. I like the blue one. So now we can practice here, and we can practice with some affirmative, negative, and interrogative sentences. El que está en la mesa es de ella. ¿Cómo se dice eso? El que está en la mesa es de ella. The one on the table is hers. Now in the negative, the one, en voz alta, the one on the table isn't hers. And in the interrogative, the one on the, is the one on the table hers? Is the one on the table hers? Now, la de ellos sigue perdida. La de ellos sigue perdida. Theirs is still lost. And in the negative, instead of still, in the negative we would use anymore. Theirs isn't lost anymore. And in the interrogative, is theirs still lost? Ok, eso fue un pelín más difícil, pero el mío es el verde. Mine is the green one. Mine is the green one. Okay? And in the negative, mine isn't the green one. And in the interrogative, is mine the green one? Excuse me, is mine the green one? Okay. Let me look for a good one here. Okay. Los míos son rojos. Mine are red. In the negative, mine aren't red. So the plural, mine aren't red. In the question, are mine red? Excuse me, are mine red? Los de ella están allí. Los de ella están allí. Hers are over there. Yeah, hers are over there. And in the negative, hers aren't over there. And the interrogative, are hers over there? Excuse me, are hers over there? One more. Viste la nuestra ayer. You saw ours yesterday. You saw, in the past, you saw ours yesterday. In the negative, you didn't see ours yesterday. You didn't see ours yesterday. And in the interrogative, did you see ours yesterday? Excuse me, did you see ours yesterday? All right, very good. We have an interesting discussion of this and a review of this in the student guide. I suggest that you look at it. And this will be practiced today on the television. And don't worry, because we will review this tomorrow on the program as well. So be sure to tune in and listen tomorrow at the same time. I'm going to take a break now, but I'll be back in a few minutes with the intermediate portion of today's class. See you soon. Bye-bye.